as we are looking at this particular process now, MPs, of course, voting to impeach suspended public protector Advocate Mkhwebane. Now, this comes after the Section 194 committee upheld the charges of misconduct and incompetence. Now, Mkhwebane has been suspended for over a year pending the inquiry into her fitness to hold office. Here's that moment.
The results of the division is as follows. Yes, 318. Noes, 43. Abstention, 1. The question is agreed to, and Advocate B. Mkhwebane is accordingly removed from the office of the Public Protector, according to the recommendation of this House.
Let's stay with reaction on this particular story and speak to Advocate Paul Hoffman from the Accountability Now, and he's the director there. Advocate, thank you so much for your time. Some say this moment was a long time coming. Otherwise, others say that they were blindsided. I wonder, what is your reaction?
Yes, I'm afraid it has been a long time coming. I'm definitely in the front row of that team. We first complained, as Accountability Now, we first complained about this public protector in January 2017. She'd only been in office for 2 months. She lied to us. She pretended that a preliminary report that she'd prepared did not exist. And when we asked her to explain herself, she obfuscated and told us that she couldn't possibly investigate herself. So as far as we're concerned, this is her due deserts, and it is long, long, long overdue.
And I wonder, when you look at this particular process and what she's had to say about it in the public domain. This afternoon, listening to a colleague of mine in Parliament interviewing the chair of the Section 194 inquiry, who says that he's confident that his report can stand up to the scrutiny of the courts should things get to that point. Do you think he's correct?
Yes, I have no doubt that the courts will have no difficulty at all in endorsing the decision reached in the report, and indeed the vote following it in Parliament. There is an absolute mountain of evidence against her. Her defense was both dilatory and unfocused, and she really, the longer she sat in that inquiry, the more people she persuaded that she is not a fit and proper person to have been appointed to the high office that she held.
And in your view then, because others are saying that her term is coming to an end in October, nonetheless, so challenging it is really semantics, and should it go to the courts? Do you think it's also just semantics, or should she just let that fight go?
No, it's not semantics. She is no longer entitled to a salary, and she won't be entitled to the 10 million rand gratuity that a public protector in good standing gets at the end of the normal term of office. So it might have cost more than 10 million rand to go through the pain of the inquiry, but it is important from the point of view of the rule of law and the upholding of constitutional democracy in South Africa that we should be seen to be doing what the law requires, and that she should be seen to be suffering the consequences of her incompetence and her mendacity.
And finally then, Advocate Hoffman, there's another vote coming up in the National Assembly a little later, which still concerns the office of the Public Protector, and that is, of course, around the new Public Protector, the name recommended, Advocate Koleka Gcaleka. Do you think she is, in your view, the person to restore the credibility of this particular institution?
I'm afraid that she has a track record in the executive. It's very clear that her entire career has been working for the executive branch of government. It is true that she has good experience in the office of the Public Protector, but even there, her executive mindedness has come to the fore. One thinks of the what has been called the parlor whitewash in some quarters. And it does raise a question mark. I would have wished that some judge or other, as occurred last time, would have put their hats in the ring in order to present themselves as candidates for the position of public protector this time round. But unfortunately, the quality of the candidates did not include any sitting or retired judges, and we have to make do with those who put their hands up. So,
all right,
it might not work. We might be back with this interview quite soon with the new public protector.
Thank you so much, then, Advocate Hoffman, for that. Do appreciate your reaction. That is Advocate Paul Hoffman, Accountability Now Director.